Where do they have to go? Do you really, like, when homeless people say that to me, I'm like, oh, you have work lined up somewhere else? Is that the only reason you're here asking for money? I don't know. All right, the next comics coming to the stage are going to be Billy Coley, John Eisenhart, Mark Zanetto, Leo Hodgson, Eric Robertson, and Anthony Crawford. So please welcome to the stage, Billy Coley.
How's everybody doing tonight? Before I get really started, I want to ask a few questions just to gain a little perspective. When you were children in your household, did y'all do the quality family time thing together?
Yeah.
Did you do fun stuff together?
Yeah.
Did you like being around each other?
No.
Well, you didn't grow up with 5 older sisters, did you? Me, my childhood, I got emotional and psychological warfare, weapon attacks, sneak attacks, bloodshed regularly. I was like that poor little wounded hyena on the nature specials that knows if the pack doesn't come well, he's on the menu for the night. Yeah, that was my childhood. And actually, if you put my mom in the mix, that's 6 women who get to experience their special time of the month living in a very small house. Now, when I was little, I was a horrible klutz outside the house, walking into doors instead of through them. I tore up my ankle walking on a flat surface. But then once I got into the house, super ninja mode. Move quietly, check. Hide in plain sight, check. But, you know, to me, through trying to be otherworldly, those are just basic survival skills. And have you ever heard the show Survivor Man?
Yeah.
The one where the guy goes out by himself. Yeah, I always think, you know, I would love to see him come to my house when they're going through their special times of the month and see if he can survive that shit. But luckily, the whole thing about women sneaking up is true, so it got to the point of eventually where, well, basically 1 week of the month where I had to be super extra careful. You know, and I tried my best not to do anything to set them off. But, you know, it's just little things, just, you know, like me leaving the toilet seat up, me breathing, me having a penis. I just couldn't help it. But I guess there is one little benefit. To this day, my mom still brags about how I was never embarrassed to go to the store to get them feminine products. That's tampons to be confused with you guys. But I have to admit though, and I'll never admit this to her though, I was embarrassed, but I figured the chances of dying from embarrassment were a lot less than pissing off 6 PMSing women. Yeah. But one thing in my childhood was worse was not the stuff that you could pretty much plan on. It was all that crazy shit that happened otherwise. One night, the family was sitting around the dinner table, and all of a sudden, my middle sister stabs my youngest sister, Teresa, in the arm with a fork. Now, I'm not talking a little poke, I'm not talking little dimples in the skin, a little bit of blood. No, I'm talking she stabbed her in the arm. And that wasn't enough to freak me out, but what made it even worse, though, was when she was asked why she did it. Well, I told her not to sit in my chair. And she made life interesting and got to the point that every time my parents came home, everybody but Brenda, my sister, was sitting out on the front porch. Storms, tornadoes, thunderstorms, snow, wind, didn't matter. We were safer outside than inside with her. And my younger sister, she had her issues too. Whenever we were young and messed up, my mom would send us outside to get a switch to get whooped with. Well, okay, we'd send them out to get whooped. Everybody's come out with little shit. My sister would come in with a piece of wood as big as her arm. Branches attached to it, nails in it, didn't matter. My mom would send them all back out. More of the same, but my sister died. She'd come in dragging small saplings, tree branches as tall as she was, rose bushes. It got to the point after seeing this for a while that my biggest fear was that I would screw up. And my mom would send her out to bring a switch in to hit me. It's like, I'm sorry, Mama, but no, Teresa, go get that switch and whoop Billy with it. All of a sudden, back door slams open. She comes in dragging a 10-foot tall Douglas fir tree behind her. My mom's like, I can't swing that in here. Take your ass outside so I can whoop you. And just my luck, I do something wrong and the tree get damaged. What's wrong with you, boy, messing up a perfectly good Christmas tree? Now your ass is going to get real whooping. To this day, I still wake up in a cold sweat wondering what the hell my sister would have come up with next. Thank y'all.
gave me the world. Give it up for John Eisenhower.